Streamers, video creators, entrepreneurs, it's Friday. It's time to party. Sorry, I got a little excited there. I see Jody in the house from Bristol, UK. I see Retail Crypto in here. I see Creator Classroom in here. Tech Troublemaker, the Quinn Zone. Oh my gosh. Where are you all watching from? Let me know. I don't... Dean, that was for the challenge, for the 5-day challenge. So earlier today, we kicked off our 5-day challenge to help you have a more intentional and strategic video strategy in 2024 to finally get off that hamster wheel and the procrastination cycle of thinking and knowing you need to do video, but never quite getting there consistently. Maybe you're running up into some fears or anything like that. That is what this challenge accomplishes for you, gives you a strategy, a plan, and consistency, and the knowledge that you can indeed do it. So we kicked that off this morning. I was live at 8 a.m. and as you can tell, when I go live, I get a lot of energy. So that's where I am. And everybody was super excited. Everybody is already starting to complete their challenges. So I am super pumped about the next 5 days and what we're gonna do together. So if you haven't registered, it's not too late to get started. Go get on in there. You're gonna go live for the next 5 days. I'm gonna tell you exactly what to say and do, and you're gonna get over that procrastination hump. All right. Hello from Kentucky, Michigan. I'm not even gonna try and say that. Let's see, every day I'm buffering. Fair enough. Oops, I've got the comments on the wrong one. I'm here. Then we've got Huntsville, Alabama. Nice to see you. Snowy, Maryland. It is icy over here. It is insane. If you're new around here, please do type new in the comments. I wanna get to know you a little bit. And if you have questions, it doesn't matter if we're talking tech. I'll tell you about my demo cam setup here in just a second. It doesn't matter if you're talking tech, if you've got questions around technology, of video creation, of live streaming, if you've got questions about growing your audience, or you're stuck in a rut, or you don't know what content to create, go ahead and speak up, put a Q in front of your question and ask those questions. So go ahead and get in the queue. I know that we already have somebody in the queue already, and I'm gonna mute. Pro tip, mute and turn on do not disturb on your devices. After this, I'm prepping for filming number 3 for March, thumbnail with title. Yes, love the action. I love the action. All right. Keep those questions coming. New, Elisa, nice to meet you. Elisa or Eliza? Let me know phonetically, I don't want to get it wrong. What kind of content do you create? Where are you watching from? Thank you for joining the most amazing community on the internet. I hope you will participate today and enjoy and come back. Great White North. Retail is new. You've been here a couple of times at least. Or you watched the VOD or like some of my recorded videos. I know your name. I think you were here last Saturday as well. And I really appreciated some of the comments that you gave us. So thank you for being here again. Everybody's freezing, it looks like, from everywhere over the world. It looks like everybody's freezing temperatures. So yeah, it is what it is. I have spikes for my shoes, so I have to, in order to take Abby out, like 2 things real quick before we really get going here. 2 things. 1, messy blankets, messy couch. I usually clean that up, but I just can't. She's in her pile of blankets. You can see her. She's actually right there. She just hides very, very well. And I just couldn't do it. She's just so comfy. She has to brave the ice outside. I couldn't do it. And also, I can't turn the heat off. So you're going to have heat noise or some background noise, white noise that you're hearing today. And I'm just not gonna turn it off because I don't wanna freeze my booty off. Okay, getting on with it. And I'm loud today, so I'm gonna turn my audio down. My apologies if I'm clipping. So ask those questions real quick. As you're asking your questions, I see a bunch of questions already getting into the queue. This week I set up So I already had a demo cam. As you all know, if you've been around for a while, when I built this 9-camera studio, I had a demo cam. However, I was using the face cam, and as much as I love Elgato, this face cam just wasn't doing it for me, and it was working kind of on and off. So what I did instead was I plugged in I plugged in the ZV-1. And I actually recorded some videos. As you can see, like I've been recording videos pretty consistently this week. I'll tell you about those soon. But I had plugged in the ZV-1 into the overhead shot right above me. And I just wasn't happy with the clarity of some of the, small print stuff that you need to see when I'm doing demos and tutorials on gear. So I decided to put my Sony ZV-E10 with a 16mm lens up there, and I'm much happier with the results there. So now we have a proper demo cam that is going to actually gain a lot of clarity with the products that we talk about. So I'm super happy about that, because I haven't used a demo cam in a while because I just wasn't happy with the quality that I was getting from that. And sometimes like I deal with stuff that really does have a lot of small print, right? And so I just needed you to be able to see all of the small print and do it that way. So that's what I've been working on this week. What have you been working on this week? And of course, launching the 5-day challenge. So yeah, I was a little worried about the, Sammy, the pro demo cam. It is definitely more of a pro demo cam, and not everybody needs the clarity of a demo cam that I need. But if you do anything with like small print, or you really want to get like that uber clear clarity, like sometimes like art projects may or may not need that. Quilting may or may not need that. Tech tends to need it a little bit more, right? And so like it depends on the quality that you need in terms of what camera you should use and lens you should use, but very happy with that now. And I was worried about the ZV-E10 with the weight of it on the arm that I have, because my arm is actually fully extended. It's got an ever so slight bend. So if you imagine this is the Manfrotto arm, it's got like about this much of a bend. And I was like, ooh, if it falls down overnight, I'll get my answer. If I wake up to a loud crash, then I will have my answer. But yeah, I could, but I wanted to use what I had, right? Because that's what I'm always encouraging you to do as well. I am gonna wear my buttons out on the Stream Deck as always. That second setup is now what I'm hooked up with for my channel. Fantastic, love that. I love so this is a Sony ZV-E10, and that's a Sony ZV-E10. Let's see. Okay, lots of questions coming through, so I better get to your questions. So, oh wait, hold on. Great start to the year. Finally opened up my new website this week. Congratulations! That's amazing. Also, it is more fun if it falls down live, so there is that. So you never know what might happen today. We never know. All right, the first question comes from Cliff. I have the Rode Streamer X. Like this one, I pulled out the Rode Streamer X because I figured there would be a question coming in about it today. And the Sony camera, want to do talking head screen walkthroughs, struggling to understand which options to choose in the software on Windows. So the software, Windows and Mac, are pretty similar. I believe I don't do Windows, but in terms of the software, like it should work out of the box. So I guess my question to you, like you do have software available to actually make some fine-tuned adjustments, mixing, the sound pads, of course, but from the perspective of the mic and the camera, the audio and the camera, it should just work. You shouldn't need to really make any adjustments to that, but of course you can. So I don't know how to help direct you a little bit, Cliff, because I don't know what it is that's wrong. Like, if you can tell me what's wrong, maybe I can direct you a little bit more. How does that sound? All right. Next question is coming from Gerard. Am I saying that right? Videos versus live versus shorts. Okay. So video versus live versus shorts. I'm given your language, I'm going to assume you're creating content on YouTube. I have a video about multi-format strategy, and so I would encourage you to watch that on this channel. This is what we have found to be true, and I'm kind of generalizing here, but it tends to be true that there's a need for multi-format on YouTube, and not need. You can just focus on one format. It's just going to be a longer journey to growth because, and I talked about this last Saturday a lot on our weekly stream that I did on a different day. So you want to hit people where they are in the type of content that they want to consume. And so who is your audience? That's the first question that you have to ask. Who is your audience and what kind of content do they typically watch? Most audiences watch multiple different formats. So, shorts are really quick, bite-sized things, right? And so there are people who watch that in a part of their lives that they don't watch longer form content like recorded videos on YouTube, and they don't watch lives in the same place in their life. What I mean by that, I know this is TMI, but I watch like TikToks or shorts on the toilet, right? And a lot of us do. I'm not the only one. And so but that's bite size. It's like quick, easy, or when I'm trying to go to sleep and you're not supposed to do that, don't do that. Don't follow my advice on that one. But that's a very specific place in my life that I watch that kind of content. When I'm sitting in front of the TV or the computer, I might watch lives or long form. You have some people who will never watch lives because they just don't prefer that kind of content. That would be a great one. Let's do a poll for sure. And so when you think about these different formats, what you're doing by having a multi-format strategy is reaching the audience that you're trying to get in front of in their way at the time that they're watching it. So that is the algorithm's job, is to get get the audience to see content that they want to see when they want to see it, right? And so having a bit of a strategy, and you can use shorts for really like more mass approach. And a lot of strategy around shorts is to kind of generalize a little bit more. Your long form content, AKA, any video over 1 minute on YouTube, uploaded to YouTube, not live, can reach people from browse or from search. So that discoverability can happen in a different way than even shorts does. And then lives really can help deepen the relationship with your audience. So think about those strengths of each platform and also what kind of content you like to create. But, you can benefit from a multi-format strategy. That was a very long answer to it. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, live equals community. A VOD, no worries, Jason. VOD, video on demand. This is just your regular recorded videos that you upload to YouTube or any other platform. And so there's obviously the results of a poll might be skewed towards live since we're watching live, absolutely. And then there's some people like Cheeky who don't like shorts, right? There's some people who will never watch one particular format of video, and so that lends itself to a smaller potential audience for you. That is the core that I was trying to get to. You will never reach Cheeky if you only do shorts. You will never reach, you know, me if you never do live, right? Like you'll never reach that audience if there's audience out there that only like a particular format of video. And so you widen the net by doing a different form, having a multi-format strategy. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, coming back to your questions. Let's see. I tend to skip through VOD just seeking an answer to something just me. Yeah, if you're doing, you know, search, if you're looking for search-based content, you may not connect with that audience or that creator right away. And sometimes it takes multiple videos to prove to you, right, that, hey, like I have valuable stuff here. You're skipping through a bunch. Well, maybe if you're skipping through more than one, if you come back to my channel and watch the same, you know, different videos from me, you find the answer, but maybe you also decide I'm worth a sub and you want to see more from me because I provide that type of value that you're looking for to get you the answers that you need when you need it and where you need it, right? Okay. All right, getting back to content or your questions. We have a boatload of questions already, so bring it on. This is your AMA. This is whatever you want to talk about. So Jody asked, to get started with content, where do you start? Well, I'll tell you right now, Jody. Come join me on this free 5-day challenge. We just kicked it off today. You can watch the replay of the day 1 challenge. Commit to the next 5 days with me, Jody, and I will walk you through the exercises and the things that you need to do in order to get started creating content. That is what this challenge is all about. It's gonna get you over that hump of uncertainty of where to start. So come join us. Will you join us, Jody? If you're still here, type yes in the comments or no, but I hope you do, because that is exactly what I'm helping you do, is understand what it takes to get started with content creation. I'll tell you exactly what to say and do in each challenge, and it's only 5 days, so it's not that much time, but yet people have big results in terms of getting that clarity, getting over the procrastination, and getting a strategy that is going to work for you in 2024. So I would love to see you there. All right, we have poll results. Is everybody ready for the poll results? Jody, yes. All right, I will see you there then, Jody. Which format do you prefer? Live, 56%, definitely skewed because we're on a live stream. And also my channel, the reason you're here is because it's called Live Streaming Pros. Number 2, VODs, 33% and Shorts, 10%. Yeah, I do know that this particular audience tends to not love the Shorts, but your audience may, right? And that's why you experiment. That's why you try these different formats, so that you can discover what your audience really loves and really wants. Okay, yes, perfect timing, says yes, absolutely. We just started today, so everybody's just doing their challenge, going live in the group and getting the job done, so we gotcha. All right, Jason, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate you. Next question, and again, put a Q in front of your question if you have a question about anything: video, live streaming, tech, audience growth, content creation, mindset issues. You don't know just how to get out of your head. Whatever you got, bring it on. And if you're new around here, do type new. We love to have fun while learning, so this is the best community on the internet. Okay, next question is from Renee. How do you approach interviews with people who haven't been on camera before and are nervous about it? So I want to use a word that I can't say live, but I've done a crap load of interviews over the last 18 years. Tim Johnson, welcome, welcome, welcome. Tell us something about your content. I want to hear, and we would love to learn about you. Thank you for being here. So, interviews, and how do you get people comfortable on camera who aren't used to being on camera? So this is what I do. I have a pre-interview strategy, and immediately I know who I'm interviewing, whether they have media experience, whether they have their own content experience, and also whether they've never been on camera. There's kind of three categories, right? They have like media training, then they have like they are already they're creators, they're doing content on camera. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they're comfortable in an interview format. And then you have people who've never been on camera. So for those two categories of people, media training, I still do this with, but it's not as important. For those other two types of people, I won't even start with what are we doing here in this video. I start with, how's your day? What'd you have for breakfast? Like, let's just small talk for a minute. I find out something about them as a human being. That is my goal in this pre-interview strategy, is to find out something about them as a human being. It doesn't have to be deep. It can be surface level. It can be fun. It can be whatever. But the reason I do that is one, I'm trying to get information in order to bring it out in the interview if appropriate and relevant, but sometimes adding just a human level connection to your interview can really help the audience like attach themselves to that person. So that's my one goal with that. And then the second goal is to just get them talking. People love talking about themselves. So ask them about anything about them. They love to talk about themselves. They're going to relax in nature because they're talking about something they know, and there's no pressure around it. So it's just a super casual human conversation. And then as soon as, we lighten up the mood and we laugh a few times, we talk about human related stuff, then I move into, all right, here's how this is going to work. We're talking about this. This is the goal of the interview. By the way, like if it's recorded, then I'll say, hey, like this is recorded. If you say something or you're uncomfortable or you want to rephrase something, I'm going to be editing this. So don't worry about just stopping and saying, hey, can we do that again? That's totally fine. And if it's live, then I'll just set the stage for live. This is a totally fun conversation, casual conversation, so don't worry about messing up. The audience loves when we just talk and goof off, right? And things like that. So I'll set the stage of the environment that I want them to step into and just relax their nerves. And then if you have mics involved as well, there's mic training. like if I'm interviewing people, physically, there's like, don't be afraid of the mic, don't step away from the mic, things like that. So I just have a pre-interview routine, if you will, and checklist kind of in my head of these are the things that I need to accomplish. Get them comfortable with you, get them talking, get them human, into their human nature, not the, oh my God, I have to be on camera, right? And then set the stage, set the tone, set the environment so that you have the best possible experience for both of you and the audience. Hopefully that helps. Okay, lots of questions coming through. Keep those questions coming. Heads up. I've got a lot in the queue. I am going to go through them in the order that they were received. Super chats do take priority. So if you have something that you want to jump to the top of the queue, you're like, Luria, stop talking. I want to hear about what my question was. Then you can super chat and take priority. That's just the best way we've found to do this and not hurt feelings. Okay. So next question comes from Novice. Once you monetize, does YouTube pay you for the views you have already gotten, or only the ones you got after monetization? Okay, well, Renee asked a question. So Renee, who's the YouTube liaison, clarify if I'm incorrect on this, but I believe it's starting from that point going forward. But he will tell me I'm screwed up if that's the case. All right, retail. What do you think about using the Pocket 3 for cam? You know, this is a question I've been getting a lot. It depends on what kind of format or what kind of content you're creating. I am not a big fan of that. What I specialize in here on this channel is in studio, you know, professional cameras. And we also talk about like the AI cameras. But in terms of the Pocket 3, like, that's not the form of the type of camera that we really dabble in or teach on around here, just because I'm not a big fan of those. They have a use case that isn't like in studio at your desk. And so that's the difference. So, you know, it seems like a great camera. People are loving it, but it's not something that I would recommend first and foremost, if that makes sense. Okay, phew, I got it right. It's based on revenue received once you've started with the YouTube Partner Program. Okay, that's what I thought. Elisa, when doing a live stream, why does echo happen? How do we eliminate the echo? Okay. So this could happen in a number of, this could be, the reason for this could be a couple of different things is what I was trying to say. If you're doing interviews, then you are likely not wearing headphones. So favorite headphones ever, and you guys, I talk about these all the time, and y'all love me for these because they're inexpensive. Who super chatted? Who super chatted? Who super chatted? Okay, so Marcus, thank you so much. Jump in the queue. Did you have a question? Okay, let me finish this and I'll find your question. Then I'll get you answered. Okay, so I can use my demo cam for this. I love having my demo cam back up. Okay, so these headphones, the Me Audio M6 headphones, they're like, they range from $12 to $25 on Amazon. You know, the prices change from time to time, but they're very inexpensive. They go over your ear like this, and so then they hide behind it. So we're going to drop the link to that. I believe it's just livestreampros.com/headphones, but they get hidden for the most part, right? So you don't have this big thing like sticking out of your head, and you certainly don't have like, I don't know, I moved my headphones, you know, the big can headphones. So you don't have those. And so echo comes because there's audio interfering with the mic. So that might be an interviewee on the other side, their audio coming in from your speakers, feeding back into the mic, and then that creates that echo. Another thing that could be causing the issue is two mics in studio, and you don't have it controlled enough to silo those mics, and there's audio bleed. And then the other thing that you might have is music. If you're playing music, anything that's coming out of your speakers is going into the mic, and then that is going to cause that issue. Now, that being said, you can turn on echo cancellation and not wear headphones. However, in most services like Streamyard or Ecamm or things like that, Zoom even, but I do not want you to use that for the best possible experience. If you're doing an interview, you've got two people talking at the same time. What echo cancellation does is it ducks one of you. So if both of you are talking, it's going to duck one of you, meaning bring your audio down. So the conversation gets lost. And so without echo cancellation with headphones, you're going to avoid that issue as well. Okay, well cut that out because I can't have two things over my ears. Glasses wear. I have tried so many things and none work for me, even the neck phones. So these are so thin. So I've never had a problem with glasses because I wear contacts. But sometimes I wear headphones. See how like up against the ear they are? And so you can just do one if you want, if that's more comfortable for you. Just do one. Obviously, you're going to drape these cables behind you, route them through your shirt so that they're never seen. You don't want the wire hanging out in front. But you know, they are very minimal in terms of that space. So I've never been bothered wearing headphones and and glasses at the same time. So it's worth a try. If anybody else has thoughts around glasses and headphones, then you know, feel free to chime in the comments. The other thing I would say is, again, you could go the echo cancellation route. Just know that when you have the interview going on, you don't want to talk at the same time. Otherwise, the audience isn't going to hear that full conversation. Okay? Hopefully that helps. All right. So, Marcus, did you actually have a question? I don't see a question from you, Marcus. So if you did, then please let me know. Okay. A lot of people are saying that they were using the Mi 6s and glasses at the same time. No problem. So it's worth a try. You know, those are you know, probably no more than $25. You can return them if you don't like them, of course. But that's definitely something to consider. Aren't you just supposed to hold a huge lav up to your mouth and forget about? Yes, that's exactly what we want you to do. Just like hold these mics up to your mouth and just, this is the mic version. Just hold it up to the mic and just start talking and just, you know, move it around and talk with your hands. That's exactly what we love to see. The Shure earbuds might be thin enough as well. So there you go. You have some options available to you. But that is why the echo is happening, just so you have that education around the problem itself. Then you can find the best solution to it. Okay. Yeah. So the Shure headphones, yeah, I've seen you do it, and we'll just leave that conversation alone. Cliff, talking head and screen shares. In Unify, which options should have configured along the bottom? You know what? So to the right of Rode X logo. Okay. Cliff, I don't have that software on this computer. I was actually using this with a different computer, so I can't open that up and show you. I'll tell you what. Next Friday, unless you find the answer from another video, like I'm sure there's other videos out there. I just haven't done a full video about this device. But I can install the software and kind of like look at settings next week and be prepared. I didn't know. I thought you had an issue with the hardware. So I brought the hardware out, but I didn't think about installing the software. So my apologies. Okay. Let's see. Joanne, thoughts on the Insta360 link for a bit of distance, teaching a live class and probably about 20 feet from the camera. For anything with real detail, I would come back close to the camera. So if you're moving around, if you're kind of moving back, you know, far from the camera, and you're coming and going, moving around, doing whiteboard demos or things like that, the Insta360 link is a great option. I have been promising you guys, this is something that was driving me insane this week. I've promised you a few videos about these AI cameras, and I still haven't gotten those out the door. So I do apologize. I suck. I'm a bad person, but I will do my very best to get some. And here's one of the reasons. Like, so now I have other companies sending me AI or wanting to send me some other AI cameras, and so I'm like, okay, like when do I do this video? Because then different versions came out from what I have, and then there are new cameras, and I'm like, bah! No negative self-talk. I apologize, Callie. Sorry. Okay, Marcus. I love to distract and confuse. At least you get some money out of it. Fair enough. Thank you so much, Marcus, for the super chats. Appreciate you. Okay, next question, Rory. Because the algorithm matches the video to the viewer, is niching down starting to mean less? That's a great question. I love how you formulated that question and how you're thinking about the fact that, that the algorithm isn't looking at your channel as a whole. It's looking at video at people and videos and tying those two things together. So the question being, is it important still to niche down? Yes, it is still, because here's two things. There are two reasons that it's still important. One, when you create video one, the algorithm is going to go to work to find that video's audience. And then that audience has connected to you, right? And so the next, let's say they subscribe because they like that content. Then the next video that you produce, if that person who subscribed or that person who is now going to be more likely to get a video put in front of them on the home screen or as a suggested video or wherever, that person is now confused, right? And so like you can't, we always talk about the algorithm being human, but humans are humans too, right? So they care about what they want, but they are also looking for that connection of consistency. And so you run a risk of getting somebody to like you and then that person just being like, I don't even know what this person is doing. And then the algorithm then becomes even more confused in terms of which videos to place in front of. Hopefully I'm explaining that well enough from a viewer perspective. The second reason being that you can never really drive a community of like-minded people when you are all over the place, right? Because we have, a lot of people who are, in the maker niche and doing DIY projects. We have a lot of people who are course creators. We have a lot of people who are, doing, quizzes on streams. The common thread though between them is y'all are all creating content and building businesses out of it. And so that deepens this conversation and the connection between you and the chat room and also between you and me, because we have a common theme that we are all driving towards or that keeps us threaded together. And then beyond that, if you don't build that, it's much, much harder to build revenue out of it. Whether you're going the course creation route, whether you're going the sponsorship route, AdSense route, just all of it makes all of that end goal a lot harder. Does that make sense? Again, from the Creator Liaison, if you want to grow as fast as possible, help the algorithm find the viewer as fast as possible. That will be a viewer who loved a previous video by giving them a similar video to love. Much better said than I did. Let's see. Hopefully the algorithm's next challenge is irrational human behavior. Yes. I don't know if Todd is going to be able to do that. Elisa, let's see. What are the benefits of using Ecamm over Streamyard for LinkedIn and YouTube Lives? Okay, so great question. Here's how I look at, and I have a video all about this that kind of takes this deeper if you want to watch this, the 3 levels of video and live streaming. Level 1 being your phone. So your phone is level 1 in terms of the tech that it takes, right? And the capabilities that you have. So level 1 is your phone. You already have it. It's easy to go live or record a video, and you don't need anything fancy. But it's, of course, the lowest quality in terms of the output, the ability to add graphics and things like that. Level 2 is browser-based options like Streamyard, Restream, Wave Video. So Streamyard is in that level 2, meaning that you are logging into a browser and you're using their service, their website to go live. You have a lot of capability within that. You can do interviews, you can do some graphics, you can, multi-stream and all of that. There's limitations around a browser-based solution, so you can't do everything that you see me doing here on my streams. Then you have level 3, which is Ecamm, any downloadable software, vMix, OBS. That gives you full CNN, full, broadcast capabilities. You can basically do anything you want on a level 3 software. So it takes in order to do everything you want, there's more of a learning curve, right? So there are pros and cons to each in terms of the capabilities that it provides you and the amount of time that it takes to do it. So it is really okay to start anywhere. It's okay to start level 1 and move up to level 2, then move up to level 3. It's okay to start at level 2 and stay at level 2. It's okay to start at level 2 and move on to level 3. Totally up to you what you need out of your videos, what you need out of your streams. So if you look at my streams and all of the fancy stuff that we do, things like oh, come on, don't tell me. Hold on. Oh, come on. Hold on. We're going to do this. We're doing something live. Hold, please. Hold. If you want to be able to do stuff like this, hey, Abby moved. Amazing! Abby's moving! If you want to be able to do stuff like that, you're not going to be able to do everything from Streamyard, as great as it is. And so it just has limitations just because it's browser-based versus a downloadable software that's using the local resources. Does that make sense? Again, we have a video all about that if that is helpful to you. Okay, next question. Cheeky. Abby awake, look out world. All right, well, hold on. We're gonna take a moment for Abby. What is Abby up to? Abs, you okay? Hi, baby girl. Oh, big stretch. She rarely, so those of you who are new, this is Abby the Chihuahua. She's 14 years old. She has, I don't know, like 6 teeth left. And she is the sweetest Chihuahua you will have ever met. But she is never very active on streams. So she's always in the background, but you mostly don't know. I usually have you need down, baby girl? I mostly have like a cam on her, but I don't have that hooked up to, I've been focusing on this demo cam. I need to hook up that other camera. So I'll just stay off to the side. I think she's going to jump down here in a second. All right, next question. The blurry Abby. Yes, I need that demo. I need that Abby cam back up. Next question. Cheeky. Facebook versus LinkedIn versus Insta. It depends on where your audience is. And so you can have a multi-platform strategy. Hold, please. Oh, you okay? Here, come say hi. Here. This is not blurry Abby. Hi, baby girl. She jumped down as I was helping her down. That was funny. She leaped, but it was like guided by my hand, I think. That's how it felt at least. Hi. Okay, you go. Anyway, so it depends on the platform that your audience is on. So who are you trying to reach? If you're trying to reach professionals, then LinkedIn is a great platform for you. If you're trying to reach, artists, Instagram is a great option for you, right? So that's where you want to start. And then you can also test different things. I have a video on simulcasting on this channel you might want to watch, but it's okay to start with a simulcasting strategy just to see where the traction is. Simulcasting can get a little tricky because you're having different conversations in different platforms, but I'm open to having you test different platforms so that you can see where the traction is, so you can see where the engagement comes from. So there's no one right, like this is the thing. You'll learn very quickly around here. I believe in nuance. And that is the thing missing from, all of the advice, world about like content creation. Yes, there is a, whoops, wrong button. Yes, there is a strategic path forward. There are, we provide in our accelerator program, which you can get started with at this free 5-day challenge. There's a path of decisions and a path of strategy that is going to get you the results that you're looking for. Within that formula, within that roadmap, then you also have nuanced decisions. And that's where, well, I think it's a strength around here. If you don't, then I'm not the channel for you. If you want, the biggest mistake that I see people make is say okay, I watched this one video and it said, this is the way to do it. And yeah, it may be, but you may need to add your own little twist to it in order for it to really work. And so that's what I want to always encourage all of you, whether you join me in the challenge, whether you're in our accelerator program, whether you're just here on live streams, wherever you're watching me. And I want you to get in the habit of taking advice and understanding the structure of the advice, because there's great advice out there. And it's not one size fits all, right? Your content, your audience, your personality, the business that you want to build for your future, that is nuanced. And so you need to understand the structure, and you need to make those choices that are unique to you. Otherwise, I guarantee it, I've been there multiple times. I've seen it happen through thousands of people. Otherwise, you will get burnt out. You will hate this creation process and you will quit. You'll give up. You'll say it doesn't work. It does work if you can really bring your personality, your authenticity to the mix within the structure. With all of this AI stuff going on in the world, it is really important that you focus in 2024 with authenticity. Get into AI if you want. Cool. Love it. Love it. Love the tools of AI. It's great. And it can really bubble you in and remove the authenticity that people are here for. And so really what I want to see you do in 2024 is go beyond AI, right? And really tap into that human connection as well. Okay, I'm on a rant now. Okay, that's interesting. This is interesting. Okay, so anyway, join us at 5 days, livestreampros.com/5 days. We got started today. It's not too late to get started. So you use Ecamm Live for your non-lives and Streamyard for going live. Why the difference? I'm just curious. Okay, next question. French press. Best paint finish to use on the wall behind you in talking head video. Flat, eggshell, satin. So you want to use flat. So you do not want to use satin, if I understand paint correctly. Satin is the glossy, right? So you do not want glossy because you need to light the background. And so the flat is going to be a flat environment that your lights aren't going to reflect off of. And you want to use a color that is absorbent of that or reflective of that light, and doesn't take it all and doesn't shine it all back, right? So it needs to be a good mix. We have a video about paint color and 3 different options for you on this channel. So I'd highly, highly encourage you to go watch that before choosing any paint color. Okay. I will always be authentic. Sometimes it's not positive, but I don't care. I'm going to challenge you on that. To Callie's point, no negative self-talk. how is it not positive for you to be fully yourself? Maybe you're seeing that as like, hey, there's a quote unquote what we consider a flaw, thinking that the world may see that as a flaw, and you should know by now around me that is not the case, right? So I want to just remind you that there's no negative about being fully authentic. It is who you are. And now you can have boundaries around what you share, what you do, what you don't do, what you don't share, right? Like that's possible and that's actually healthy. But it's never a bad thing for within those boundaries for you to just say like, this is me. If you don't like that I like go on a rant about AI or go on a rant about taking action and getting over yourself, which I did this morning in our live stream on the 5-day challenge, then then I'm not going to grab the audience that is right for me, right? So anyway. Okay, fair enough. I hear you on that. But you are absolutely welcome. Your viewers don't find them as flaws. Like the flaws thing is just a myth. I need to do a video on that. Flaws being a myth. Okay, thumbs up. You should see my list of videos that I have in the works or that I need to do. And every time somebody asks a question, I'm like, that needs to go on the list. And yeah. I need a month straight to just create videos. All right, next question. After multiple updates to the Twitch TOS, how's the safety shorts thing going? Safety shorts? I may have missed something on safety shorts. I do know all of the Twitch stuff going on. I don't know what that means, safety shorts. So fill me in if I'm just not hearing that correctly. But in terms of Twitch, like, guys, I mean, Twitch is interesting right now, to say the least. And I don't talk a lot about Twitch, but I was considering doing a video on Twitch and how it's going to affect the overall landscape of live streaming. So let me know if that's of interest to you guys. Because not a lot of you in this audience stream to Twitch because I don't focus on it. I was a partner for a year there. I know it well, but it's not my go-to platform by any means and who I tend to talk to. So if there was a question in there that I totally didn't answer, let me know. I'm sorry. Exactly, Erica. What's the best way to do sound effects? Been struggling with Voice Meter, Banana, and I do have an Elgato Stream Deck. Okay, so let's go to our trusty little demo cam. You've got multiple options. So you've got sound effects and sound pads on the Rode Streamer X as one option. This does camera and audio into your computer, XLR. And then you've got things like the Rodecaster Pro or simply the Rodecaster Duo. These have sound effects, so you can do, like, hardware sound effects can be a little easier if you need all of this other stuff as well. I'm gonna get to how you can do sound effects without a hardware change in what you already have. But then you also have things like, hold please. The new DLZ creator that I talked about last week on the stream, this week on the stream. I went live on Tuesday or Wednesday about this little device. And so you have options that have sound pads for sound effects and anything else that you want to do. Now here's how you can do it without adding additional gear to the mix. Ecamm Live. So I'm just going to go in to demo mode here real quick. Let's see, I don't have demo mode programmed. All right, so you should now be seeing my screen, Erica. So you don't need Voicemeeter Banana. What you would need is a software like Ecamm Live. This is how I do my different camera switchers, right? Things like that. So you have the ability to produce a video and or live stream, and then in the sound effects panel you have the ability to have different sound effects. So we could play, right? You play different sound effects. You can put music in there when I do countdown timers or credits that you'll see at the end of this. I'm playing music with that. So you can do that all in software. It just doesn't sound like you're using a software like Ecamm Live. Now, one thing to consider is you will not be able to do that the same way in like a level 2 setup. So there's a couple of different options for you. It depends on your overall needs. If you need a device like this that has, the ability to mix multiple channels, bringing in XLR mics, or maybe you're using USB, so you wouldn't want something like that. You have, when it comes to gear, please always start with the end goal. Start with what you're trying to accomplish and not just what everybody else is using. That's where so many people go wrong. All right, yes, we do need to record your voice effects still. Let's see, next question. Okay. Tim, do you recommend the 15-button Stream Deck to help switch or the big freaking 32 Stream Deck? Okay, let's talk about Stream Decks. Because if you've been watching me for a while, you know my thoughts on this. However, I have something that I've never said publicly before. So Tim, you get the benefit of this new thought process that I've been going through in my head. I love the big 32 key Stream Deck. As you can see, I only deleted this one because it was getting in my way, but like I use all of my stuff, all of my keys, and I could use even more. So when you start building and you start using your software, you can find uses for all of this stuff. If you go to our store, livestreamingpros.com/store, we have done for you like pre-made graphics. We have little reactions like this thing that I was playing earlier that you can throw up on your screens or video or your streams or videos, right? So there's a lot that you can do from a graphics perspective, and so having a lot here is actually super beneficial. Now, I don't have a 15 key. I have this one. Let me unplug it real quick, hold tight. So then we have like a version like this. Let me just dust that off a little bit. So then you have the other Stream Deck, what are we calling this? The XL? No, not the XL, the X? Anyway. It's been a while since I said the name of it. Which one is this called? This has like knobs, and this has, very few, 8 keys, but then it has like a display, it's not plugged in, and knobs to control different things. This is really, at this point in time, only beneficial if you have the entire Elgato ecosystem of, you're using Elgato lights and you're using, other Elgato products that you can control with this. They will open it up beyond the Elgato ecosystem, but to this stage right now, it's mostly best with the Elgato ecosystem, which is why this is actually over at my workstation, because I'm using it to control my light that is an Elgato panel light. Okay, the Plus, thank you. The Stream Deck Plus, that's what that one is. I was like, Stream Deck something. They have so many different versions. Now, when it comes to the 15 key, this is a big daddy, right? Like this is like, thank you, Tim. So this, sorry, I'm still getting used to my overhead cam. So this is the Stream Deck that has the 32 keys. And what I do when I build my Stream Deck out is I put the most important things that I need access to right here on the edges. So I know that I'm gonna go to my main cam constantly. And so I always just like have that right up top. That way I can feel, and it's touch based, and I don't have to look down. I know that my hide comment button is right here. And by the way, these cool icons are also in our store that you can get to make it look better than just the native icons that they give you. The mute button, if I need to cough, I don't wanna have to fiddle around with figuring out where that button is. The countdown timer, right? And so like, these are the four corners are really where it's at for me in terms of controls. But everything else, you know, you can kind of learn your buttons touch, kind of touch feedback, right? Based because these are raised. However, the 15 key could be very beneficial. Like think about that as like kind of in half, right? Could be very beneficial for knowing just 4 buttons instead of scrolling or thumbing through all those buttons. You have more limited space for that exercise. So what I've been considering doing, just with that thought process in mind, is taking the 15 keys with my main buttons and then offloading to the XL all of this extra stuff like the animations and the overlays and the fun stuff, Stream Deck or Zoom buttons, things like that. So there are a couple of different choices there. Now, I could never do a stream with just 15 keys, but you can get started that way. It's just that we see once you get going, you are going to want more buttons. And so that is a couple of different options. One, just go for the XL, but another option is to start with the 15, get used to this like 4 key, you know, process, or this like limited space process. So you can just like feel it, know which buttons it is. And you just, there's a word I keep losing, but that process of memory, you know what I'm talking about. And then maybe you offload a second 15 key for other stuff, or you do the XL for other stuff that aren't your primary go-to always hitting buttons. Does that make sense? Anyway, some ideas there. Let's see, next question. Bill, is it bad, harmful to leave my Sony a5100 camera on all of the time? Same for the Elgato prompter. So, Bill, as with any tech, computers, monitors, TVs, any tech, you will lessen like the lifespan of it by leaving it on all the time. But I have a solution for you. So what I do is with our studios here, with all of the studios that we teach you how to do yourself, and with the studios that we build for our clients where we customize their studios, we go in to build it in their home or office. With any studio that we do or that we have our hands participating in, we have a party on switch, if you will. And so you want to put the camera, the prompter, not the computer, like the computer should be separated out a little bit, but the computer should be on a UPS, but you want to have all of these other buttons or all of these other plugs connected to one single outlet. And that could be on the UPS, and I would highly, highly, highly recommend making sure that it is connected to the UPS. But I should do a video about what I mean by like what's connected to the UPS or not. But essentially, I keep the computers and the routers on the UPS direct, where that is under the surge protection and it's under battery protection. But then all of this other stuff, the cameras and everything else, is connected to a single switch that you can turn on and everything comes on together. Your lights, your camera, your monitors, your prompter, all of it should come on together, and you can automate that with like Google or Apple or whatever, so that you can say a word and it all comes on together too. So there are lots of options in terms of like which version you choose, but that's essentially the party on switch. You hit one switch, everything powers on. You hit one switch, everything powers down. But yeah, so. Oh no. See, this is the one thing, like, yeah, okay, UPS. Oh, muscle memory, that's the one thing I was looking for, thank you. So UPS is an uninterruptible power supply. And so that is like surge protection and battery. So if like this happened, right, we've got all of these storms, power lines are going down across the country. Then what you want to do is have all of your equipment, because you've spent investment in this gear. If it's not connected to a surge protector, to battery, then two things could happen. It could blow the gear. But secondly, if you're live, doing a webinar, doing a live stream, doing whatever, if you are live and your router and your computer are not connected directly to that power surge and battery, then you're going down, right? And this actually happened to a client of ours recently, and and I was like, no, I should have been connected. But yeah, so the like if you lose your power, you don't want your stream going down, right? And so that will help with that as well. So lots of benefits to the UPS. I can actually do. We can grab you, thank you for asking. We can grab you a link. I'm sure Kathleen, your tech coach, or Callie or Marcus, our moderators, are on that. And we will get you taken care of and drop that in the chat room. Oh my gosh, it's past the hour. How did that happen? What? Okay. I'm not even done with questions yet. Hold on. When did it become past the hour? Nobody told me. Marcio, Dino of Zoom Club. Marcio, email support@livestreamingpros.com to get on the wait list for that. We don't have any open spots right now, but you can go into the wait list. Erica, thanks. What software like Ecamm for PC? You don't have a Mac. Yeah, sorry. You can use vMix or OBS on a PC, and it'll all do the same. Okay, reliable way to use iPhone as a camera with Ecamm. So you can bring that in, via the cable into it. You can also use a camera app like Camera. There's an app called Camera that literally brings it in. And so Camo is a great app to do that. Camo is one of my favorite apps, so CAMO as well. Okay, yes, I did. I just love you guys so much that I lost track of time. I was having such a great time geeking out with you and talking about all things video strategy. If you have not joined us for the 5-day challenge, do so today, because we kicked off day 1. It's only 5 days, and it will get you clarity on your content strategy, so you can actually create videos in 2024 that grow your audience authentically and grow a business out of that and make you money. But most importantly, money aside, have an impact and make a bigger difference in this world in the way that only you can. So that is what this challenge is all about. So livestreamingpros.com/5 days. I would love to see you there. It's free. We kicked it off today. So now is the time. Put those dancing shoes on, because we are going to thank our YouTube members and dance this baby out. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you for being the best community on the internet. And I just really appreciate each and every one of you. If you're new, please do subscribe and come back. Every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, we are here geeking out, talking strategy, having real talk, and answering whatever questions that you have that you need help with. Let me be a support to you to get you over yourself and get you past the head spin that we all wind up in, and just participate and ask questions, and let's get you some results here in 2024. Sound good? All right, put those dancing shoes on. We dance this baby out and thank our YouTube members who get extra special perks, and we're actually considering an extra special perk. I won't tell you what. That's a big tease. Soon. Info soon. I love you all. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. Do something fun for yourself. Thank you, David, for the super chat. Is there a limited time, 30 seconds or less when singing or playing covers? That is a question of I'm trying to answer so quickly. Fair use, but that's a whole discussion. But I would follow. Reach out. There's a video that I want you to watch, David, about fair use and copyrighted material and covers and all of that. All right, you guys, you rock. Thank you so much to our members. Shoot. Why isn't it going? Where's my credits? Okay, here we go. I love you all. Bye.